Welcome back to my spiritual experience with your host, your brother right here, brother Sadiqullah. I came back and I'm doing a live real quick because I had some thoughts that I felt I needed to share, and I can tell you why and where I've been. That's been a process. Most of you know if you've been watching the channel or if you've seen the show at all. Um, Probably the last I think episode that I did, I talked about this deep spiritual transformation that I went through when my mom died and I was divorced and all of this chaos in my life. And so that was like the last, I think, video that I did. And so today I'm coming back and I wanted to share live what's going on. So I went through a pretty deep spiritual experience after posting that video, right? It kind of kicked up some thoughts and some emotions and some energies that I thought I had processed through. But what actually occurred was once I kind of went into that video, if you go back and look at it, it triggered things, right? It triggered things that I thought were settled in me and they were not. And so it sent me into another process of deepening and developing in what one might call a new and refreshed dark night of the soul. Not as heavy as the first, but definitely something to um, give full attention to so as to gain the most from whatever this process would be when it was completed. And so, as we are coming out of that, not 100% out of it, but the necessity for me to speak and to be back on camera became more prescient as I see, and as most of us are aware, that the machinations and mechanisms and plots and plans of the matrix are mounting up, they are raising up, they are boosting up. And so with that being the fact of the matter, I felt like it was only that it was a necessity for me to get back out and to share what I know, all that I've learned, and to re-enliven and awaken the God Body Society. Okay. And so the God Body Society, in my opinion, are those souls who are here, recognizing why they are here, understanding that they've never really fit into this time slot matrix, because what we're actually here to do is change it. So we never really fit, we never really belong, because we're actually here to change it. And where we're from is a spiritual place. It is an energy of good, God, love, righteous light. And the intent is for us to be here now so that we can be a anchor, the leavening in the bread, the staple in the community that helps to transform us back into who we're supposed to be. The Matrix has really done a number on the majority of the earth. And so, in my opinion, if I was to do an assessment of the souls of the people, I would say that 90% of the world is probably unsatisfied with the way that the world is moving. From the corruption to the death and the destruction, the war, all of the things that are going on that are so counterproductive to the development of the human species. Well, in that dark night of the soul, I come to the understanding that what is in me and what is in many of the other members of what I call the God Body Society are actually parts of a kingdom that is to come, the kingdom of heaven that is to come into this earth through the individual souls who apply themselves and pull forth from their hearts and their souls and their spirits and their minds and their beings that which the Creator put in them originally. And so many of us have been twisted and confused and deterred, not only by just the life and the matrix, but family, mom, dad, husband, wife. So many things have deterred us from our actual purpose on this planet, from our actual reason for being here. And so with so many of us being dissatisfied with the way that the world is, so many of us living beneath our highest possible potentials. And I think it's become more commonly acknowledged that the way this world is moving is not to the best for anyone. I guess if you would consider the robber barons, people, souls that we would consider to be worried about in the sense of the whole of society, they would probably be happy because they are probably, like I said, the 10% who are ruling, right? They have the money to manipulate society and socially engineer perspectives about the world itself. And so with all of these things being reality, it was a must that I jump back on here and do my job. So once again, like I said, my name is Siddiqullah. That name was gifted to me in a spiritual experience that I've shared many times on this, on the YouTube and in Facebook and in different platforms. And I will in the future if it comes up and it's a necessity. But what the name means is friend of God, depending on the translation, friend of God or truth of God. And so what that means to me, what that expresses to me is that what we understand as our consciousness, as our life, as our own personal energy to live and exist on this earth, it is not really our personal energy. It is energy that is universal, and it is the same mind that is the creator of all that is in creation. And so our consciousness is a part of that, right? Our consciousness is a part of that, and we live in the consciousness of our creator. This is my understanding. I believe that we live inside of the consciousness of our creator. So if you want to say in the imagination of our creator, in the mind space of our creator, in the atmosphere of the consciousness of the mind space of our creator, that's what I've come to believe from my lifelong studies. And why can you feel someone staring at you across the street is because through this unseen medium that is the mind of our creator, there is energetics that we have not yet fully understood that are being understood, that is known as quantum, right? The quantum mechanics of our universe are beginning to explain the spiritual aspect of our reality in existence. And so my understanding and my own, I guess you say, research and insight leads me to believe that we are living in the mind, in the imagination of our creator. I imagine that every one of you and every one of the people who are in existence or have ever been in existence are an original thought of the creator. You cannot exist without the creator desiring for you to exist, originating you as a thought, as your initial creation. And so each individual that is in existence is a specific idea, intention to be here from the creator. You are that specifically designed and an original idea from the creator. Now, this life, this consciousness, this energy that we move, that causes us to be alive, that causes us to move, it is the same energy that is the, I guess you could say, the material existence of that of the creator. So my mind, my consciousness, my spirit, my studies of spirituality and my soul and my life and how it all relates to this earth that we are lived on, that we are created to live on, and all of these things. When you study spirituality, what you're studying is the internal workings of yourself, right? The life energy, the consciousness, the breath of understanding, et cetera, et cetera. What I believe is happening is that each individual that is in existence is using the exact same consciousness being brought into the world through the different filters, which are our own personalities. So me being Siddiqullah, I am seeking to express in this lifetime my highest potential. I seek to express in this lifetime the highest expression of my understanding of my best character in this lifetime. My desire ultimately is that what I wish for myself, I wish for my brother. So I wish that all of us are able to reach to our highest potential at some point in the reality of our lives. The matrix, the world that we live in is designed to keep you distracted and away from your own highest potential, from you even understanding why you are in creation. And so that is a challenge. I think that is the human challenge, the human experience, and our highest challenge is to understand our personal reason for being in existence. When we believe we've understood what that reason is, then it is for us to reach the highest possible expression of that reason, right? And so through my years of study and pain and traversing this world, I believe I've come to some solutions and some answers to some of the questions that are universal to our species as a human, right? So there is the argument and the statement that there is a God. Okay, we ain't even finna argue that. If you know me, you know I believe in God. Okay, you can call it him, she, it, spirit, universe. It matters not what name you use, but the point being, there is a God. And if there is a God, and then we have this universal question, what is the will of God? Right? So if you intend to really understand these things, what you would have to do is attempt to answer that question. What is the will of God? How would you go about discerning that? So my thing is this: your life, your existence, your personal reason for being in existence is part of the will of God. He desired for you to be here, right? And so if God's will is for life to be in existence, he willed for you to be here. He willed for me to be here. He desired you. He chose you. He originally thought of you as a being. What do you think he would have that purpose be? Right? If God's will on earth, what is God's will on earth? Obviously, life is part of it, right? We have trees, we have birds, we have all of this life that is abundant. So what would the will of God be for life? That all of that life reaches its fullest potential. That is my assessment. You could argue and say, oh, I don't know that that's what it is. You don't have to. You don't have to argue. You don't have to agree. But you can go into yourself and you can discern what you would imagine that God's will is for life on this planet. I believe that we are here to reach our fullest potential. I believe that we are here to push forward the generations to higher concepts and understanding of life, of our experience here. And that when we begin to train our entire society, the entirety of society, our human species, towards reaching our highest potential, getting out of the mindset of competition. I'm better than you. You're worse than me. I'm always up, you down. You know, that whole mentality has to kind of be done away with, because what we understand is that all of humanity is one family. All of humanity is interconnected through this thing called spirit, through this thing called soul, through this thing called life in itself. And if God's will is that we all reach our fullest potential in this lifetime, then it would seem to me that we will be working together to discern how we could do that. And so I believe I have some solutions to that. I have some ideas towards that, because these are things that I've studied and wondered about and cared for a long time. And I feel like I have a good clue to why we're here. Now, one of the things that we have to do is re-educate ourselves. We have to re-educate all of our species, from the children. It starts with the children. If we can give it to the children, then we don't have to re-educate them as much as we do just give them the correct education. Most of us have flaws, and most of us have flaws in our thinking and our character. And these are all things that we've acquired over the years of living in this matrix, having to navigate between the spiritual aspects of my life and the material aspects of my life. If you believe in the material aspect of life only, then most of the time, from the perspective of the average person, you have to do some kind of manipulative, hustle to get up, to win, and so most of us have acquired, bad character traits throughout our lives. And these are the things that we ultimately begin to eliminate from our lives so that we can purify ourselves and become back sound with that light that is at the core of all of us, right? And so that light that is life, that light that is consciousness, it is pure. And when you come here into this world and you encounter the people that are here and the experiences that we've all gone through, that light can be dimmed, it can be diminished from the outside and from the inside. So our perceptions can be twisted, can be flawed, can be injured, can be harmed, can be misguided, can be turned away from what is best. And so the the maturity that we've gained sometimes comes with barriers and walls that we put into our perceptions and our interactions with other people that actually ultimately hinders us expressing ourselves at our fullest and highest capability. And so I think the majority of the world has been suppressed, and that most of us are suppressing ourselves because of what other people would think of us if we told them what we believed, if we told them who we really are, if we exposed the real inner self that the Creator intended for you to be here and to express. And because we don't, we generally, if you cannot express yourself to the fullest capable possibility of what is inside of you, if you're not able to express it, then there is a great possibility that you'll never reach your fullest potential in this lifetime. Like, people look at Michael Jordan, and I use these famous people because these are people that you know, people look at in an iconic manner, almost, you know, like you know, perfect examples of somebody with a really great life. But the fact of the matter is, you know, LeBron, Elon, Jordan, you know, whoever else we can think of who's excelled in their lane, all that they did was focus on themselves and help themselves to reach their fullest potential. The Matrix is designed that you do not focus on yourself. It's designed that you focus on the entertainment industry, that the news, the chaos of war, the tragedies of whatever society is pushing forward. You know, it's a consistent theme of things to keep you distracted from who you're actually supposed to be. And the key to finding out your inner self and learning your path and directing your full future to reach your highest potential, I believe it is necessary to eliminate and to detach yourself from the things in the matrix that are total distractions. If you're spending energy and time and focus on things that are not helping you get to your highest potential, your next stage in life, your next step, the process that you're trying to attain to, if what you're doing with your energy and your time is not allowing you to grow in those ways, then you must have the discipline to rearrange your time, to rearrange your energy, to rearrange your attention towards the things that are going to get you further along that path. We have one life in this timeline. And so if that's true, how much of your time are you able to give to the goals that you actually wish to attain to? Or are you going to work generally 8 hours a day? You know, on the front end, you spend an hour, on the back end, and you spend an hour, you know, getting yourself together and unwinding. So we'll say 10 hours a day. It's 24 hours in a day. How much time do you have for family? How much time do you have for entertainment? How much time do you have for accomplishing the goals? How much time do you have for inner work that helps you to eliminate some of the character traits that we have to go and grow through? So these are things that we have to assess in our own lives. And most people don't take the time to do that. I may have taken a little extra time doing that, but I think it's going to put me in a position that I want to be in. And I think that I am supposed to be in for my life and for my connectivity to this life. Once again, I will tell you, I believe I am an ambassador to the kingdom of heaven. I believe there are so many more of us. I believe that within the hearts of the righteous souls on this planet, there are, I guess you could say, institutions and ideas that are for the kingdom that is to come. They are part of how we will re-educate, re-elevate, realign ourselves with the correct balance of this earth. We have gone so far into things that most people wouldn't agree. It's just like we didn't forgot about. It's almost like our humanity is being extracted from us. It's being, gradually numbed away from us to the extent that most of us don't even consider the full spectrum of our humanity anymore, right? The full spectrum of our emotional states and what they're for, what they are, what they're teaching you, what the methods of expression and why they exist at all. So without us having a clear understanding of who we are as a human species, without us having a clear understanding of who we are on this planet, the environment that we live in, all of these plants and these trees are around us. None of them are arbitrary. All of them have a use. All of them have some form of use outside of just, cleaning the oxygen, as they say. There is medicine, there's food, different seasons, different qualities in these plants come to the surface during different seasons. And so it's just so much that we don't know about our basic humanity and the place that we live, which is Earth. So without us understanding our own human body, our own interconnected spiritual reality with this physical body and how it all interrelates to the earth that we live on, and what does it all mean? If you're not attempting to understand these things because maybe they're not important to you, but if we as a species don't ever gain that level of understanding and make it a common part of our reality, our species will forever be at a very low level. We will never reach the heights of who we can be. But when we decide that the most important thing for us to understand is the human body that our soul walks around in and the earth that the Creator put us on, those are the first original basics that I think humanity should be learning in order to reach its fullest potential. And so with those basic things not being a part of the common knowledge of mankind, we are watching ourselves destroy ourselves because we don't know where we fit. We don't know our own personal place. We don't even know the place of humanity on the planet anymore. And so with us being at such a lost state, you can see the world falling apart. Everybody, oh, it's end times, all of that stuff. Yes, it is. But it is the yin and the yang of the end times. There is the destruction and there is the rising of the beauty as well. So it is a matter of where you tend to place your perception. And it is a matter of your perspective of what this all is, right? I mean, all of it, life, your soul, body connection, your inner workings in this earth, on this realm of earth, right? It's so much that we don't know. And my goal and my job and my purpose and my intention is to bring as much of that we don't know into the common sphere of understanding, with the goal of ultimately elevating our human species and bringing in the kingdom of heaven on earth. That is my purpose. And so it's been a while, and I just wanted to get back on here and share a little bit. I'm going through, like I said, another deep spiritual awakening, and I understand my place and my position and my necessity to do these things that I am doing, meaning even this show, outside of what I may recognize its effect is. Because the unseen realm is definitely affected by everything that we do and say. And so I intend to remain on my job and share and care and express love and light to the people, and hopefully be extensively effective in giving people insight, maybe sparking curiosity, maybe even giving some answers to some questions that the soul is bearing. I won't hold you much longer. I do intend to come back on very shortly. I have more interviews to do. There are several people who I look forward to interviewing and sharing more of my own thoughts and my own insights from delving into the depths of my own spiritual experience. And as I always say, all roads lead to spirit. And when I study the things of my spirit, it helps me to be able to explain and express to those who are in need of understanding of their own spirit the same truths that I've gained from my own work and effort to know me, know my relationship to the creator, and know my relationship to the creation, etc. So, been on here almost half an hour, and it's been a minute since I've been on here, but I felt it was a necessity for me to get back on here and drop a thought or two and share with the people. And hopefully we will go forward, and I will have, like I said, guests and more insight and deep wisdom to share that may help to elevate you spiritually, internally, physically, financially, however. But our purpose here is to grow. Our obvious purpose is to grow until we leave. And my thing is this: there's not enough time in this lifetime left for me to know all the things that I would like to know. And so being distracted by the futile things of this world that are not towards the growth and development of my own soul, I think is something we should all attempt to pay attention to. Give your attention and your energy only to the things that help you grow, only to the things that make you better, only to the things that push you forward towards your highest self. All right, that's my word for today. Brother Sadiq signing out. And I hope you all enjoy and stay connected, and we can do this again in the future. But I thought it was a necessity to get on here today and do it now and get back into it, because the world is falling down around us. And I think a lot of you may not know how or what to do in ways of dealing with it. And I think that I have a pretty clear understanding of what's going on, where we're going, and what it all is leading to. So this is for those who understand where we are, where we're going, and that this is all prophesied. So yes, there's no fear to be had, because if you are here for the purpose of transforming this. It's going to take some courage. It's going to take some confidence. It's going to take some stepping outside of your comfort zone, but it is a must, because that's the only reason you're here. And you can hang out and wait and play like it's not what it is. You can hang out and wait and play and let them tell you that you're here to make money. You're here to, you better figure out through your direct connection to that life source that is in you why you're here. In these crucial times, I think it is a imperative that you know why you're here. Understand your place in the mix of all of what is going on. So I'm done. I think that's it. I think I've said enough, and I hope the message was clear, and I hope that it inspired somebody to seek the deepest and the highest aspects of themselves and express into this world the highest, most loving, most broad, most fully bloomed version of yourself, so that we can all benefit from the heights of your own personal attainments. So that's what this is about, guys. One love. I'm out of here. All roads lead to spirit, and I will see you soon. Okay. Well, maybe we'll figure out how to get out of here. Oh, as I say, all roads lead to spirit, and I will see you soon.